History is filled with ambition, innovation, and incredible growth. But it's also littered with some of the most catastrophic financial mistakes you can imagine. When things go wrong in global finance, the consequences ripple across the world, shattering economies and upending countless lives. Today, we're diving deep into some of the most expensive financial blunders in history. From the dot-com bubble to the 2008 crash, we'll explore what went wrong, who paid the price, and what lessons we can learn. These aren't just market blips. They're events that changed the course of history. Let's start with the dot-com bubble. In the late 1990s, the internet felt like a new gold rush. Everyone wanted a piece of the action. Investors, gripped by a fear of missing out, threw billions at tech startups. Many of these companies had no revenue, no profits, and sometimes not even a real business plan. The mantra was simple: growth at any cost. The Nasdaq index skyrocketed, tripling in value in just 5 years. Companies like Pets, Com, and Webvan became symbols of the era big dreams built on shaky ground. Everyone was convinced that the internet would create limitless wealth. But you can't defy gravity forever. By late 2000, the party was over. The bubble burst, wiping out an astronomical $5 trillion in market value. The Nasdaq plunged by 78%, and countless investors lost their life savings. It was a harsh lesson in irrational exuberance and the danger of following the herd without doing your homework. The key takeaway? Hype is temporary, but solid fundamentals are forever. Always be skeptical and do your own research. Next up, the infamous Enron scandal. On the surface, Enron was a Wall Street darling, hailed as America's most innovative company. By the late 90s, it was the 7th largest corporation in the US with a market value of over $60 billion. But underneath this glittering facade was a tangled web of deception. Enron's top executives, including CEO Jeffrey Skilling and Chairman Ken Lay, used shady accounting tricks to hide mountains of debt. They created special entities to move liabilities off their books, painting a picture of a healthy, profitable company. All the while, they were selling off their own stock, knowing the whole thing was about to collapse. In December 2001, Enron filed for what was then the largest bankruptcy in US history. Billions of dollars in investor money vanished. Thousands of employees lost their jobs and their retirement savings. The scandal even brought down Arthur Andersen, one of the world's biggest accounting firms, for its role in the cover-up. Enron's collapse was a brutal reminder of why we need transparency and accountability in the corporate world. It showed that watchdogs, auditors, regulators, and boards must remain vigilant. And that brings us to the 2008 financial crisis. This was the perfect storm of greed, weak regulation, and a system on the verge of collapse. It all started in the U.S. housing market. Banks were handing out subprime mortgage, high-risk loans to borrowers with poor credit like candy. Why? Because it was incredibly profitable. These risky mortgages were then bundled together into complex financial products called mortgage-backed securities, or MBS, and sold to investors all over the world. They were marketed as safe investments with high returns. But the reality was a ticking time bomb. As housing prices fell, borrowers began defaulting on their loans in massive numbers. The so-called safe MBS became worthless toxic assets. In September 2008, the investment bank Lehman Brothers, which was heavily exposed to these assets, collapsed. It was the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history, and it triggered a full-blown global financial meltdown. Governments had to step in with trillions of dollars in bailouts to prevent the entire system from imploding. The damage was immense. Millions of people lost their homes, their jobs, and their savings. The crisis shattered public trust in financial institutions and left a deep, lasting scar on the world economy. The lesson here is clear. Excessive, unchecked risk-taking is a recipe for disaster. We need strong oversight and prudent risk management to keep the system stable. These massive mistakes aren't just an American phenomenon. Let's look at the Greek debt crisis. After 2008, Greece admitted its public debt was way higher than anyone knew. Years of overspending and poor financial management brought the country to the edge of default. The EU and the IMF had to organize huge bailouts, but the attached austerity measures crippled the Greek economy, causing widespread unemployment and social unrest. It was a painful lesson in the importance of fiscal responsibility for governments. Even the biggest banks aren't immune. In 2012, JPMorgan Chase lost a shocking $6 billion because of a single trader in its London office, nicknamed the London Whale. This trader made a series of incredibly risky bets that went south fast. The incident exposed major flaws in the bank's risk management, proving that even the most sophisticated financial giants can make monumental mistakes. So, why do these disasters keep happening? A few key factors are at play. First, human behavior. Greed, fear, and overconfidence are powerful emotions that can lead to irrational decisions and speculative bubbles. Second, complexity. Modern finance is so intricate that even experts struggle to understand all the risks involved. Third, regulatory gaps. Innovation often moves faster than regulation, creating loopholes for people to exploit. And finally, short-termism. The relentless focus on quarterly profits often encourages taking huge risks for immediate rewards, while ignoring long-term sustainability. So, what can we do to prevent the next big meltdown? We need stronger, smarter regulations that can keep up with new financial products like cryptocurrencies. We need to boost financial literacy so the public can make more informed decisions and protect themselves. We need ethical leadership in corporations, where long-term responsibility is valued more than short-term gains. And because our financial markets are globally connected, we need international cooperation to maintain stability. The most expensive financial mistakes in history are powerful warnings. They show what happens when greed and negligence run rampant in flawed systems. We've made some progress, but new challenges are always on the horizon. The big question is, have we truly learned from the past? Or are we doomed to repeat these mistakes on an even grander scale? The answer depends on the choices we all make today. Let's hope we can make history our guide, not our fate. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of finance. See you next time